Thank you for joining me for this episode. Today I'm joined by Dr. Grant Miller, and we're going to be talking about creating a myopia month for promotion to your patients on the Myopia podcast.
Welcome to the Myopia Podcast, where we give you the latest myopia research, clinical topics, and industry insights. Make sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all awesome myopia content. And now to our host, a massive myopia manager himself, Dr. David Kading.
Here's the tough truth. For every 1 hour we spend with patients, we're stuck doing 2 hours of administrative work, charting, prior authorizations, inbox messaging. And it's not just us. Up to 70% of our team's time is spent on non-clinical work. This isn't why we got into healthcare, and patients feel it too. Many say that they no longer feel truly connected to their providers and the healthcare practices. I've been working with virtual partners for over 10 years, and I can tell you not all virtual staffing companies are created equal. When we found Team, we realized how much better this process could be. Now, we've been working with Team for the last 2 years, and they didn't just find us a name on a resume. They helped us choose the right person, trained them, gave us onboarding system, management tools, and support us to make our virtual team feel like they're really part of our office. Now, our virtual team handles documentation, prior authorizations, billing, patient phone calls, other patient communications, you name it. Our in-office team has more energy. Our patients get more face-to-face time with both my office team as well as me as a provider, and I get to be the kind of doctor that I wanted to be in the first place. If you're ready for a virtual revolution in your office that actually works and you're looking for a partner that helps you do it right, visit hireteam.com. That's hire, HIRETEEM.com. Big thanks to Team for supporting this podcast. Visit hireteam.com. That's hire, HIRETEEM.com. And thank you to Team for supporting this podcast. Well, thanks again for joining us for this episode. I'm joined by my buddy, Dr. Grant Miller, and he is a myopia genius, and his practice has grown an incredible practice. So it's awesome to have you on the episode. Grant, tell us a little bit about you and your practice and how you do myopia as a big part of it.
No, again, thanks for the invite. It's awesome to be here. So I've owned my office for now 6 years with my wife, my partner in crime. And when we got the office in 2019, we started that conversation of, hey, let's do something different about this myopia in kids. And then over the handful of years, this has evolved to where now it's really taken over a big chunk of just what I do within the clinic.
Yeah. So how did that kind of get started? Did you, right from the get-go, start doing soft multifocals, orthokeratology, atropine, or how did that evolution start from just getting your practice? Was it a cold start, and how did that go?
Yeah, we bought an established practice. My wife had done a lot of ortho K from her other office. But it's funny, you met this person named Kerry Herzberg through my wife, and he started getting those wheels turning. So ortho K just kind of from the get-go is just what started all this interest because you can treat the myopia. You can also have that lifestyle change in everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So your wife does myopia management and you do myopia management, so it's ingrained in your practice at all aspects.
Yeah, no, she now does more of the dry eye because that's something that inside of me just hurts and I don't like it. So give me the myopia, give her the dry eye.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. So, your practice being kind of a primary care established practice, how did you evolve the existing patient base to make it a myopia management culture?
Yeah, and I mean, when we got the office, it was older population, so a younger married couple comes in. I think that naturally starts shifting young people, and then from there, it's that first instance. You meet a kid, you meet an adult, you meet a grandparent. Hey, here's what's different in what we're doing in kids now. Let's check your kid. Let's check your friends' kids. Bring everybody in so we can see what risk they have for this, because we can do something about it now.
Mhm. Mhm. So I know you guys have done something in your practice around, education and, doing some events around myopia. I want to talk to you a little bit about that. And now you're at a point where you do a whole month, myopia month. Walk me through the evolution of this and how, that has helped grow knowledge within your practice.
Yeah, it always, that no of no, I don't want to do this or I don't get it always hurt. So it was always, what else can we do other than just the point of the exam? So the thought was, hey, let's just have an event. Let's talk about myopia. Let's do this one singular day in 2021. We had like 60 people in our small office for like 3 hours. So we're like, all right, we had a good show up. We had raffles and prizes and games. And then so next year, let's do it a week so we're not overwhelmed. And then we did 2 weeks. And then now it's just to the point where it's a month. So anyone coming into the office sees just myopia all over the walls. They sit down for an axial length and it's games and prizes and raffles to just say, hey, here's what this problem is. Let's talk to everybody about it.
Yeah. So you had 60 people. So you just planned an event, kind of like a trunk show people might do. And how did you advertise that? How did you get the word out? Who were these people that showed up?
Good old paper flyers in hand. Everyone that came in, here you go, spread the word. And from there, that just kind of got us started.
Yeah. And where do you practice in the country?
We're in River Grove, which is just outside of Chicago.
Yeah. So is it a big population or is it kind of a community that's a little smaller?
We're what I call a village surrounded by a bunch of other villages. So it's a very
Uh-huh.
large populace of people spanning from high income to low income and various different backgrounds of ethnicities and demographics.
Yeah. So the first event that you did, you invited and you got 60 people to come, which is crazy.
Yeah.
What did you do that convinced 60 people to show up at your office? Like what were you promising them, candy and treats, or were there adults or was it kids that showed up? Like, what did you do at this first event?
It was just, hey, come learn what parents are doing for their kids' eyes and kept it simple there. There's raffle prizes and candy and food. So it's like, hey, bring your kid and they'll get a bag of candy to go home. So kind of
Uh-huh.
just, it was fun and playful enough. It was after school. So people could just stop by on their way home.
Yeah, yeah, that's great advertising in a dental office. Your kid will get a bag of candy to go home. So, did you do like axial lengths at that a visit, or when they came into the office, and were you giving a PowerPoint, or were you walking individual people through? Was this a 2-hour event where you gave a lecture and you had an agenda, or what? What? Walk me through that.
It was just you walked in, and if you wanted to play, we made Blinko, so a spin-off of Plinko. We had a bucket toss with like swim goggles that were blacked out to mimic different eye conditions. But that was when we had the handheld like DG8 scan. And so it was, hey, sit in this chair. We'll do an axial length best we can. And then we had a poster where we did an axial length graph, kind of modified it off the Tideman and just plotted, hey, you know what? Your eye's high. That's not good. So we wanted to kind of bring that awareness of that's not normal. It's not normal in you as an adult. Hey, let's do something about it. Let's bring you back. Let's
Uh-huh.
do a consult. Let's do an exam.
Yeah. So for the people who came in of that 60, people that attended, how many myopia management patients do you think you got from it? And I understand that some of these 60 people were moms and dads and a kid, right? That's three people, maybe only one's eligible. But what do you think you got from that first event?
Within that first week after, we got one confirmed, and then we probably had about 6 to 10 patients that became patients. And then over the next 2, 3 years, ended up in the program. So, setting the bar as low as, hey, if we get someone at least scheduling a visit, awesome. So, we've got someone signed up. That was a huge success there.
Uh-huh. I think that is the failure of so many people who do events like this is the expectation that we're going to get, 100 people in the door and we're going to convert 50 of them into myopia management and they convert two and then they quit ever doing the program again. I imagine that as you did this program multiple years, it was the planting of the seed that first time that then those patients converted over the years to come because you were bringing awareness. Is that kinda how it went? Like, you said that, 6 of those patients converted over the years. Meanwhile, you're still attracting other people into the program. But was it kinda that planting of the seed? Is that kinda what it was?
I've always looked at myopia as a get rich slow scheme. So it's one of those things, have that combo. circle back again, have that combo, do that 5, 6 more times, have that combo, hear no every time, but then eventually it's a yes. And then for those that immediately get it, that's a word of mouth resource that can start, advertising your program. So those small things are huge wins in the long run for us.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was year one, and you had 60 people show up. Did you automatically the next year go to multiple days? And now you've scheduled a time for it the first year, but now that you've done it multiple days, are you just opening it up for anybody to walk in at any time? Or is it, are patients coming in for normal comprehensive visits during this time period and you're just putting them through Blinko or whatever it is? Or how did it work after the first year?
We kind of realized that, hey, it's after hours, so we don't have patients. That's easy enough. And then we're like, well, let's get the people that come in regularly on the regular day to day. So then it was, okay, maybe I'll schedule a patient every hour. So then I'm open and flexible. So that first one that was a week, then it was kind of like, oh, I'm with a patient, but someone's interested. So now there's certain days I just don't see patients. And now I'm dressing up as a superhero, wearing costumes, doing just goofy things in the front of the office.
And that's now that you do things for a month, right?
Yeah.
So you're like once a week or something, you're dressing up and doing things in those days?
Yeah, I gotta be a kid too and have fun, so let me
Yeah.
be the inner child.
Yeah. So walk me through the planning. Like when do you do this? What events are you doing in the office now? What does that week look like? How are your staff involved in it? How is your patient education laid out? Like walk me through this. Say I'm going to start doing it 2 months from now. Give me the playbook.
I mean, first off, our staff have been trained on it, so she's to the point where she can just completely handle this conversation, so I think that's one important part. Because even if you plan to do it yourself, you're with a parent or a patient. What are your staff doing with that individual? Can they talk about this? Or are they like, "Oh, hold on, let me get Dr. Miller." So I think having them understand this is huge. Not to say you can't bring a new staff member on and they can kind of learn and see and experience it. But our next thought is when you come into the office, we want you to go, what the heck is this? So there's posters and tables and banners. We now have the Excelink
Get
posters.
more grainy on that. Like, what do you mean? Like, what's the poster? What's the banner? Like, what do these things
We've
say?
got all the pop-up banners of every company that gives them out to offices. So there's 6 of those spread out. There's a giant rainbow reflective table with the big bowl of candy, but it's all covered in everything from Treehouse to Ability to Paragon. So you have to subliminally see that when you're doing those things as you get there.
Uh-huh. Yeah. All right, keep going. So you got this stuff all over the office. People are seeing it. It's happening when you're seeing patients and so forth. Your team is doing axial length, and you're inviting other people in. What kind of things are people leaving with educationally?
Outside of the big bag of candy, they've got raffle prizes they're entered in. So every week there's a winner. So they're getting updates on that. The kids in our program actually get a goodie bag. We previously did it to where they had like a VIP badge. So anytime they were in the
Mm.
office, people go, "Why are they a VIP?" Well, let me tell you about why. So we're expanding on that, engage the get the interest, and then from there, let us take control of that conversation.
Yeah. So, what do your myopia numbers look like in the months leading up to this, the month of, and the months following? I presume this is kind of a time of the year where you see an uptick, and then the months after, probably. What does that kind of look like? That first year, you converted one, and now you've seen 6 patients from that, maybe that first year. What does it look like now? Like, what do you plan for with this huge investment? Because it's a time, resource, office, facility, everything.
Yeah, and it's the goal at the end of the day is if we get one a week, that's a win. Just specifically
Mhm.
during the events, we're already a couple a week right now, but it's can we capture new people that haven't been to the office? Can we try to get them scheduled? That's one goal. Can we convert people we've talked to for 2 to 3 years? That's another goal. Someone
Mhm.
has a friend they want to bring and they can make a referral. Like we try to set goals for all that stuff so we can monitor and measure it because any of those hits and just one of them hits, that's a win to us. So we're not trying to say we want to get 100 patients from this event. We want to keep it realistic. One's a win at the end of the day for all this.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really awesome. So, the other thing I wanna talk with you about is how you how have you got better about converting the no to a yes? So, what are you doing that is getting more conversions? I presume that your conversion rate has probably improved from 2019. What are the things that you would say has made more patients say yes earlier? And as you pointed out very clearly, it's a get rich slow scheme, and that's because patients need to hear about it. They need education on it, and they may need to go home and they need to come back and so forth. But what have you done to improve that capture rate?
I think the biggest thing is just stop thinking about it and stop putting that effort in. So it's, try to build that foundation so it's just natural part of, your normal exam process. So like we pulled away from the let's schedule an hour-long consult, let's overwhelm the parent. So it's we try to build emotion and get a parent reaction in the office to gauge interest. And from that, with that interest, we gauge, are you going to be a virtual consult? Are you going to be an in-office follow-up? Or are you just, hey, 3 to 4 months axial length, you don't get it. And with that, the no's hurt less. So it opens up you to kind of just be more adaptive and receptive to these things. So it's a simple I'm concerned for Johnny's eyes. They're growing too fast, too long, and it's going to impact his vision. This concerns me. Does it concern you? And so in those 7 seconds, I have an idea of where that parent's at and where they would like to do something, talk to dad, be hesitant, wait, or do nothing.
Hmm. And then do you usually schedule them back for, a follow-up if they say no, or when do they come back to see you?
Our staff know no matter what happens, even if they say they're doing the consult, they know to go ahead and try to schedule them for a 3 to 4 month follow up. Because if we say 6 months or a year, they cancel. Now we're seeing them a year later, 2 years later. So we want this on top of the mind. And then our progression charts will be that visual of, hey, we're not doing anything. Johnny's glasses are still making his eyes get worse. We've been talking about this. Let's do something.
Yeah. Yeah. Brilliant, man. I think this myopia, month is a brilliant idea, and you can do this a couple times a year. I always say that. What month do you do it? When do you spend most of the time doing this?
We do August, so our school systems are start in August and early September. So we try to hit
Hmm.
that back to school flux in Illinois.
Yeah, yeah. So, we don't do a ton of comprehensive vision exams in my office for children. We tend to be more of a referral center for myopia management than we're detecting it as opposed to a part of a comprehensive exam. So, for those offices that are doing that sort of thing, I sometimes wonder if an October timeframe could be better because presuming children go in that August and September timeframe for a comprehensive exam somewhere else, and now they're hearing that their child continued to progress in their nearsightedness, and this is like an issue. And now they were referred in, or they were wondering about this, and I'm marketing somehow how that could be like, oh, yeah, his prescription or her prescription did change. Is that a problem? And hey, yeah, let's come learn a little bit more about it. Could be an avenue because when they come in for the comprehensive exam, they may not always know that there is an issue to know about. So I wonder if, for offices that do a ton of comprehensive exams, I think summer time frame, August, early September is great. I love that, and I'm wondering if in another area, if that October time frame, which I think is a really good time frame for a lot of people to be working with their referral sources to gain those, working in August and September to remind referral sources to refer to you if there is an issue, if they don't do myopia themselves, is those timeframes to have that education being rich in October. That's really cool. Yeah. Well, good, man. Anything else that you think we haven't talked about that we need to touch on? I think that was a great topic.
No, that was I when you just closed there, that gave my wheels some spinning because we also send out we do boots on the ground, go to the commercial docs, go to pediatricians. Hey, here's an event, come learn more. Yeah, if you don't do the comps yourself, reach out to those people and say, you're gonna start seeing these school eye exams for kids. If you see this, send them over to us. We'll do a free axial link. We'll start that
Right.
conversation. So
Co-manage with you,
if you're
right? Yep.
exactly. So if you're not mainly doing primary care and all referrals, there's still avenues that you can do to try to kind of feed off of what other people are doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Dead spot on. Well, awesome, man. Hey, thanks for being on the show. Great ideas. Always learn something from from the myopia geniuses out there. I appreciate your perspectives and thanks for being on the show.
No, thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for joining me for this episode. Make sure to like and subscribe and stay tuned next time for more from the Myopia Podcast. Hey, friends, over the last 2 years, I've been doing the Myopia podcast, and it has been an absolute joy. There has been some incredible partners that have come along board with me, and many of you have listened to those episodes and thought, man, there was some great content in there. I agree. That's why I love the podcast. So I've put together a culmination of all of the podcasts from the first 100 episodes that we've done into a book called The Myopia Files, and I'm giving it away for free. I hope you'll check it out. Go to themyopiawebsite.com and check out the Myopia Files today.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Thank you for tuning in to the Myopia Podcast. If you enjoy our content, please leave a 5-star review and don't forget to subscribe for more great episodes.